Hey tubes, Dave M35. I've been here working on my Harbor Freight 3-inch, well it's not 3-inch, it's a 1-inch by 30-inch grinder with the 6-inch disc sander on it that I just got. And ran into an issue. Went to change the belt. Okay, here is the sander right here. Like I said, combination sander 30 by 30 by 6-inch. And supposed to take a 30-inch belt. Well, I have the belt here. I also got it from Harbor Freight. It's a 30-inch belt, 120 grip. I went to put it on, ran into an issue with it. The issue is when you put the belt on, when you get down here to the tensioner assembly, the problem is the tensioner will come all the way forward, and then this wheel right here, it cannot rotate. There is just not enough clearance between here and here to rotate. So what I've got to do is I've got to cut a little bit of this right here back, of that metal casting. Now, I've got my Dremel set up, but yeah, I can't get in there, so I gotta get this out of the way. Okay, no problem. Take that off. Well, issue there being, you get back here, there's a bolt right here. There you go, now you can kind of see it. And it comes forward, it hits this motor plate, and you can't get it off. This here also will not tip out of the way because the pulley's in the way. So, the only option that I can see is you got to remove these 3 motor bolts here, remove these 2 screws here, then you got to remove the drive pulley, which I've already done. And then, I'm thinking you're also going to have to get in here, take that circle clip off, and remove this pulley. Pain in the ass, really, because this belt is 30-inch. I measured this belt, and it is a 30-inch belt, and it should fit on here, but it acts like it's just a little bit short. Now, granted, these are Harbor Freight belts, but, you know, this here has a lot of movement to take up clearance. And then even after that, it has where you can adjust the tracking side to side. So even if I modify this a little bit, it should still work. But this is just one of those things where with Harbor Freight, you've got to modify stuff. So I'll get torn into this, and I'll see how it comes out, and I'll get back with you. Hey folks, Dave M35, I'm back. Well, I got it took apart, and as you can see in here, possibly, I now have quite a bit of clearance with that pulley. I had to ground off probably a good 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little more, almost 1/4 of an inch to get it. Involved removing these screws here, 3 screws behind the motor, this pulley, this bolt, which basically removed this whole housing from the front of the motor. One important tip, put this together, leave these bolts here loose when you tighten these motor mount bolts up. Because the problem I ran into is when after I tighten these down, or tighten the motor mount bolts down, the sanding disc on the other side was out of alignment and it kind of ground. So what I had to do was loosen these up, let the motor recenter itself. Now it's fine. So I can turn it on. As you can see, belt runs smoothly. Everything should be good. Of course, I do not recommend running this without the guard. There is a shield. There's a shield guard that goes on this, and it is a good idea to put that on there. But that was just, I wanted to be sure it was okay before I put all that together, and we're good. So that's just a typical thing with Harbor Freight. You get what you pay for. I gave $79.95 on for this, and then with my 20% off coupon, it was like like 60 bucks is what I gave for it. I could have went to Home Depot or Lowe's or Menards, and they got the same thing in name brand for probably 130, 140 bucks. But You know, these aren't bad tools if you're mechanically inclined and can take them apart and do the little nudges and tweaks and modifications that they need to work well. They're actually well made. This was more of a, what the problem here was with that piece I ran into, it was more of a casting. All it is cast metal. And it had flashing on that, where that pulley goes, that was rubbing. So, you know, that's where we're assembling it, like a few hits with the grinder, would have took that right off, everything would have been fine. But so it's just something you gotta do that the factory didn't. But now this should be good. I should have no problems. I can change belts easily. All I gotta do now is just loosen the bolt, pull that off, switch, take this cover off, take a little, basically just take the cover off. There's a little shield right here you gotta loosen up. Loosen this bolt up, and then this will just all come apart. This is supposed to have a spring. It does have a spring. I don't know if you can see. Well, you can't, but there's a spring. There's a spring right back in here that's supposed to push this back, but it doesn't work that well. So usually what I do is I'll just kind of take my finger and pull it back, put some tension on it. It don't need a lot of tension for it to work. And tighten her down, and then everything's good. And the screw right here, this right here is not a tension screw. It does not tension the belt. What it is for, it's a tracking screw. What it does, by moving it, you move the belt back and forth on this pulley, and you do that to get it centered. And if you see here, you'll see I'm a little off. If I turn this, there we go. You saw it moved over just a little bit, so now we're pretty well centered on the pulley, and everything should be good to go. So that's it for this video. Just wanted to show you, you know, if you buy Harbor Freight, be prepared to, at one point, having to do some modifications to it no matter what you get. And so it's David M35. Talk to you later.